Well, hello there folks, and welcome back to The Whiskey Friend with me, Alan. Here we are again. It's another new week, and you know what that means. It's another brand new video. In today's brand new video, I'm going to do something a little bit... I have done it in the past before. I'm going to do a list video. I've done a 15-year-olds on my bar, and I've done a 12-year-olds on my bar. So today I'm going to dive in and tackle some fantastic 10-year-olds. It's been sitting on my bar for a long time. I've got some 10-year-olds who I've just been introduced to recently. So I'm going to try and share as much information on these as I can, give you as much info, tell you a lot about them. Just before I do that, guys, just prior to recording this video today, the channel smashed through the 4,000 subscriber mark, which I'm so humbled and I'm really thankful. So I'd love to thank every single one of you folks who have hit that subscribe button over the last couple of years. I'm really looking forward, and you know what's going to happen next, guys. We're just going to move on to the magical 5k from now on. So onwards and upwards to the magical 5k. But let's dive in and crack on with these fantastic whiskies. So what's the first one up on the list? Just a quick one, guys. I have poured one here earlier. I've got it sitting on in my glass. This is a fantastic 10. It's probably my favourite 10 that I'm drinking at the minute. So I'm going to save that one to the very end. So I've got my typical Whiskey Friend coin covering it up for now. Number 10 on that one. So we'll leave this here for a bit. And then just at the end when I bring out the last one, I'll have a little sip of this. So what's first? Number 1 on the list, I'm heading over to Tamdhu. Tamdhu Distillery. It's up there on Speyside. Predominantly, exclusively in Oloroso sherry casks, and this is bottled at 40% ABV, so I'm going to go in with a couple of 40%ers and kind of work my way up. And so this one here, picked it up for £30. It usually retails around about £30 to £35. Packaging's awesome, bottle's awesome, packaging's awesome. Really solid bottle. Look at the base on that, a real hard solid base on this. This would obviously, when it's finished, it would make a fantastic infinity bottle. Lots of great packaging on it, lots of cardboard, lots of recyclable stuff, and it's got lots and lots of info on the box. And so yeah, so Tamdhu sherry casks. What we getting with this one? Yeah, it's Oloroso sherry. On the nose there's lots and lots of vanilla. It's 40%, but it's just perfect for me for this one at 40. It's a real, if you're a beginner, this is a perfect starter. If you're new to whiskey, or you're just starting out on your whiskey journey, this would be a great one to start with. It's lots and lots of sweet vanilla. Not too sure where the vanilla comes from. Just a little spoiler on this one, guys. The next video after this one will be the Tamdhu 10. So if you're patient enough and you hang fire to the next video, you may get to see my thoughts on this one. But a little quick overview on it. Lots of sweet vanilla, sweet nutty notes. It's got a real nice oaky character to it. There's a little spice in there as well. So easy to sip. On the palate, there's loads. There's like a fruit explosion of it. There's loads and loads of fruit. Lots of rich toffee notes. That sherry oaked character's there as well. And heading into finish on this one, it's really fruity. And there's a little tiny hint of smoke right on the back. So that's the first one on the list today, which is the Tamdhu 10. So let's move on to the next one. What's coming up next? So the next one on the list, folks, I'm heading over to one of my old favourites. I'm heading up to... We're heading to Highland, Glen Garioch. So I'm tackling the Glen Garioch 10. Picked this up, funnily enough, at the same time as I picked up the Tamdhu. I got both of these on offer, £30 each. I think the Glen Garioch again comes in round about £30, £35. This one's a little bit higher ABV. It's bottled at 43%. And as usual, folks, it's typical Glen Garioch, so it's unhurried since 1833. This one, it's clean, it's crisp, it's bright. It's just a typical Glen Garioch. Lots and lots of flavour. Loads of fresh green apple. Lots of rich toffee notes, and this one is a little bit nutty too, so there's some nuts in there, and you can pick up some real soft oak notes from this one, and all the usual suspects are there as well. The dried fruits, the dark fruits, the raisins, the sultanas, all that kind of stuff what you would typically pick up from a a beautiful sherry dram. Again, guys, this one is perfect if you're new to whiskey, or you're just starting out on your whiskey journey, or you're just tackling Glengoyne for the first time. It's a typical entry. It's an awesome 10-year-old, and it's perfect. This is perfect if you're an old established malt head. It's probably one that just sits on your shelf and you tackle this one on a regular basis. So that's number 2 on the list. What have we got for number 3? Let's check it out. So number 3 on the list with this one is one that I've tackled quite recently, folks. It's a little bit more expensive than the others. It's coming in from Gordon and MacPhail, independent bottlers. It's part of their Discovery series. So they do a sherry range in the series, they do a smoky range, and they do a bourbon range. In this one I have done the Bunnahabhain 11 as well, which is also part of this range. We'll try and pop links to both of these. If you haven't saw them, you want to check them out. But again, this one 43% ABV. To say it's coming in around about the 50 to 60 pound mark, but it is Gordon and MacPhail. I've never really ever had a bad Gordon and MacPhail bottling. These two are no exception. I'm loving this one. This is typical sherry. It's part of the sherry range. I think in the smoky range, I think there's a Kalila kicking, a Kalila 13 kicking around. And I think there is a couple of ex-bourbon ones, bourbon casks as well in this range. So you may want to check them out at Gordon and MacPhail. But yeah, 54, I think I paid £54 for it, so it's usually around about 50 to 60 pounds. But it's typical on this one. It's got those stewed raisins, some really nice roasted nuts, roasted hazelnuts, some creamy milk chocolate, a little bit of citrus in there as well. Lots and lots of stewed fruits, and on the finish it is lots of lingering citrus, so there's lots of citrus and fruit on the end of this as well. So it's a real nice, fantastic, beautiful bottle. I will do a link, guys, if you want to check it out. If you've tried it, dive into the comments, let me know. I always like to see the comments, folks. Okay, folks, what we got here is number 4 on the list. I'm heading over to one of my favourite distilleries, the very first distillery that I ever visited, and if you're a regular to the channel, you probably know straight away what that one is. So hopefully you've all been watching. A little bit of trivia as well in this video. Yeah, we're heading over to the Isle of Arran distillery. We're heading over now. We're switching it up a little bit. We're switching to some bourbon cask whiskey. We're having it up to 46% ABV, and it's non-chill filtered in its natural colour. So lots of great things. Wonderful new bottles here at Arran. Lots of information on the packaging, lots of information on the bottle, which we love. So moving on to this one, I picked this up again in a bargain. I think I picked it up for around about the £30 mark again. So I'm not doing, none of these whiskies are breaking the bank at the minute. This one again, as I say, it's bourbon casks. There's lots of vanilla notes, there's lots of malty notes. There's some really nice nutty character in there as well. There's lots of fruit, particularly orchard fruit. Again, with the loads of vanilla, bit of coconut in there as well. So there's lots and lots going on. There's a wee bit more complexity going in now with this bottle than to the previous ones that we've tried. With the exception of the Milton Duff. The Milton Duff's quite complex, but this is absolutely fantastic. Great again for beginners. And if you're an established whiskey drinker as usual, then this might be one that's pretty much there or thereabouts on your shelf that you drink on again on a regular basis. So yeah, number 4 on the list is the Arran 10. I will pop a link to that above, I think. So moving on to number 5 on the list, the Glencadam distillery. So what can I say? Again, bourbon cask whiskey. What can I say about Glencadam? 46%, unchill filtered, natural colour, and an age statement. Absolutely fantastic. But look at that colour, folks. What a wonderful colour. So clear. This one again, I picked up again. It's around about £32–33. Again, if you look out and you pick these up, this is a bottle that's pretty much always on the bar. It's been on the bar for a long time. I've actually done a couple of reviews of it. I'll probably pick which one to pop above. I might be running out of links to put links above, so see, I'll try and pick some nice ones again. But again, this one again it's that kind of fruity, It's a perfect summer whiskey. It's so light, it's so fresh, it's so fruity. It's got those beautiful cereal notes. There's a little bit of tropical fruit in there as well. Lots of fruit, lemon, little lemon oil. Absolutely wonderful. And if you've not tried this Glencadam, I would highly recommend that you go out and search for a bottle of this Glencadam. It's such a wonderful whiskey, and this should be on everyone's bar. Okay folks, let's move on to number 6. What have we got on the list as number 6 today? Again, we're heading to another fantastic distillery. If anything, this whiskey video, the guys is taking you through some fantastic distilleries in Scotland. So without any further ado, let's move on to number 6, which is no exception. This is moving over to Campbelltown. Again, another place fond in my heart, as everyone knows. Big Campbelltown fan. We're moving on to Springbank. Everyone's saying how difficult Springbank is to get a hold of, which is true, because it's such a quality distillery, puts out quality whiskey, puts out all these 10s, 12 and 12 cask strength. Is fantastic. I've reviewed quite a few of them. The local barleys are just gone through the roof. But we're tackling on this 10-year-old today, and this is Springbank's kind of entry-level whiskey. And this by no means is an entry-level whiskey. This is quality whiskey with a 10-year-old age statement. 46% ABV. It's all natural colour and it's unchill filtered. Everything we've come to expect from this Springbank distillery. Everything is produced on site, is bottled on site, is labelled on site. Everything is done there. This one again is bourbon cask influence. I think there's a little bit of sherry. I'm sure there's a little bit of sherry in there as well. But yeah, no, absolutely fantastic. What a beautiful colour. I do have a couple of backup bottles of this one ready, guys, because I know this is always going to be on my bar. Retails round about the £40 mark. I know sometimes from time to time it's tough to get a hold of Springbank. This one's around, and then it's not long before it comes back again. You can usually pick it up if you search around hard enough to get a hold of it. I'm not too sure what it's like in global markets, but I know in the UK it's pretty available here in the UK. So super stuff. Beautifully balanced, beautifully complex. Is it an entry-level whiskey? It's entry-level price, but I think it's a little bit more complex. If you're a beginner to whiskey, I think this might be a wee bit challenging for you, but by no means is it off-putting. I think everyone should have a go at this whiskey. Wonderful stuff. It's beautiful vanilla notes, lots of caramel, lots of creamy notes, creamy vanillas, honeys, toffees, all those kind of things. There's a little bit of raisin and fig in there as well. So it really has everything. Those malty cereal notes. There's lots of cereal, lots of malty notes. Absolutely wonderful. This is the unpeated versions of Springbank, but I do tend to find from time to time, depending on my occasion, maybe I pick up a little bit of smoke tiny little bit in the background there. But beautifully complex, beautifully balanced, awesome whiskey. So that is number 6 on the list. So let's move on to number 7. What have we got at number 7? They're getting good, aren't they? Let's see what we got for number 7. Where am I going for number 7? Oh wow. I almost forgot this one, guys. I had to add this into the list pretty late on, because it was when I was going through it, I wondered, where is this one? So yeah, right behind me here, we're heading over to Edradour. We're heading back on the sherry. We're heading on the deep dark sherry. Look at the colour of that. 10-year-old whiskey. This is a 2009 bottling. This is a single cask bottling. This may be a wee bit tough to get a hold of, but I have picked up a couple of the 2010 versions. They're just as dark, they're just as nice, they're just as wonderful. Really well, I'm savouring whether I'm going to have a nice experience to bottle kill this. I'm looking for the right time to do it. Yeah, 46% ABV, natural colour, unchill filtered, all the usual. It's from a little distillery up there in Pitlochry, beautiful little part of the world. Beautiful distillery shop there as well. It's signatory of the owners of Edradour. Beautiful little picturesque place, certainly worth a visit. This is all the D's for me. This is dark, it's deep, it's dense, it's dirty, it's damp, it has all those D's, it has dunnage, there's lots and lots of stuff going on, but it's rich, it's flavoursome, it's powerful, it's at 46%, it's a whiskey experience. It's all those dark fruits, dried fruits, damp wood, dirty Dunnage styled notes. It's oaky. It's just got everything, guys. There's lots of dark fruit, lots of red apple. There's really, it's so complex, guys. I think I have reviewed this one. I will possibly try and put a link up to this one if you've not quite caught with this, because this is certainly worth a look in this video. This comes in round about the £50 a bottle. You might find this 2009 one a wee bit difficult to get hold of, but the 2010s are out there, and you can pick up them for around about £50. So that is number 7 on the list. Where are we going to go with number 8? What's number 8 got for us? Right, 8. We're heading on to a wee bit of smoke now, guys. I've not done any smoke, so you peat lovers and you smoky heads that's been hanging on, big thanks for hanging on. So let's dive into this one. Where are we heading? Are we doing Laphroaig? Are we doing Laphroaig? Are we doing Ardbeg? Let's hold on. We're going to go straight to Laphroaig, Tobermory Distillery, up there in a beautiful place in the world, the Isle of Malt. This is coming in at 46.3% ABV. This is smoky whiskey. Real nice stuff. It's rich. As I say, it's in heavily peated malted barley, and it's matured in ex-bourbon casks, so it's got a real nice. Again, there's vanilla. Those rich flavours are there. Rich vanillas, lots and lots of peat smoke, and a really sweet vanilla. Surprisingly sweet vanilla. There's some really nice medicinal notes in there as well. It's a little bit medicinal, and it's surprisingly, it lingers a little bit. It's a little bit salty on the finish, but it's a real. Again, if you're a peat head, then this is a must. I think I did a head-to-head at one point against Ardbeg and Ardbeg 10, and I think this fared pretty well against Ardbeg 10. Yeah, it's rich, it's flavoursome, it's fruity, it's smoky, it's peaty, it's spicy, it's salty. It's a real complex dram, complex whiskey. Round about the 35 to 45 pounds. I think again I picked this up under 40, which is a real steal. It's really wonderfully balanced. It's a real smoky finish on the whiskey, and it's beautiful for me. It's just a great. I'm not necessarily the peat head, but I do enjoy this one, guys. But if you're a peat lover, then you'll love this one. So that's number 8 on the list today. Okay, folks, what we got is number 9. Again, we're going to stick with the smoky, peaty whiskies. We're heading to Islay. Laphroaig 10 cask strength, whopping 60.1. Guys, these are the real. These are not for beginners. If you're a beginner watching this stuff, then do not tackle this whiskey, because this is as tough as it gets. This is medicinal, this is peaty, this is smoky, this is earthy, this is mineral. This has got everything. This is the batch 12 version. I have reviewed it, guys. If you want to go back and check out the review, and it's certainly worthwhile. It's cask strength. It's as cask strength as it gets. It's aggressive, it's powerful, it's a peat bomb, it's a smoky masterpiece. It's got everything going for it. I'm just waiting for batch 13, must be coming out pretty soon, so I'm looking to patch up that. But £50 I picked this up, guys. So as you know, me myself, at £50 I couldn't resist that, so I've picked up another one. So I've got 2 of these on the go now, bit of backup going on. But yeah, peathead guys, let me know if you've tried this one, have you got a bargain on it. Is it Laphroaig? It's typical Laphroaig, guys. It's got all that earthiness, peatiness, smokiness, mineral notes, earthy. Everything's going on with this one. It's complex. It's a challenging whiskey. It's wow. It's just a peat bomb. So that's us pretty much covered 9, right? So I did say I was going to share my favourite one at the minute with you, right? And it's a whiskey that I have reviewed before. I have reviewed it a long time ago. And to give you an idea, it has been on my shelf for a long time. Probably as long as I've been drinking whiskey, this one has been on my shelf. And I'm going to share this one with you. You could probably see it sitting behind me up here somewhere. I'm going over to Benromach, right? I can hear some of you saying, what, Benromach? But I just love everything that Benromach's doing. I've picked up a few distillery bottles. As you can see, this one's ready to be killed, but have no fear. Backup is ready and willing and ready to go. So yeah, we're popping back to 43%. It's the Benromach distillery, which again, it's owned by Gordon MacPhail. But with this one, guys, everything at Gordon MacPhail, it's all small batch stuff. It's a tiny little delivery. It's tiny little distillery, small outputs. But this stuff is just absolutely fantastic, and they have a beautiful core range. They have some really nice distillery only bottles. Gordon MacPhail are doing a fantastic job with this distillery. This one again, it's so fruity. It's got forest fruit. It's real lots of it smells creamy, even creamy on the nose. Wow, and then again there's a little bit of smoke in here on the back, guys. This is by no means a heavily smoked whiskey, but it's got a beautiful balance between the fruit, the ex-bourbon casks, distilled by hand using the finest barley, malted with a touch of peat smoke. Yeah, it's small batch of the 10s. Every one I've had, guys, has been phenomenal. I've really started to engage with this one again really recently, just in anticipation to doing this video. But this one is just, it's fresh, it's fruity, it's citrus, it's vanilla, it's toffee, it's honey. It's beautifully balanced. The nose is a wonderful nose, and just see how the palate is, guys. That's no exception. So you know where this is going. I've been chatting here for a while now, so I'm getting a little bit thirsty. I'm getting a little bit dry in the mouth, so let's quench this thirst. So down the hatch, folks. Oh wow, guys, at 43%, it does not taste like 43%. It does not drink like 43%. It's spicy, it's fruity, it's beautifully balanced, it's oaky, it's honey, it's vanilla, it's sweet, everything, sweet toffees, sweet honeys, sweet vanilla. Bit of fruit, a lot of fruit in there as well. Really wonderful dram. This is a £30 bottle of whiskey again, guys. Does it break the bank? This should be on everyone's bar. Wonderful whiskey at Benromach. It may be one of those kind of under the radar distilleries. Again, everything's small, produced in small batches. It's still out there. Not too sure in global markets again how much is it of it across the pond and in Europe and places like that. But I know here it's readily available to get a hold of. They do lots of smoky ones. They do even heavily smoked ones as well. So wonderful distillery, wonderful whiskey. This is my current favourite at the minute out of all those bottles. That does change from time to time, but I'm going through a little Benromach phase at the moment. So that's pretty much this list, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this list. I know there's a couple bottles missing. Everybody's going to write into the comments, where's our Big 10? Where is, what else is missing? I'm trying to think what else is missing at the minute. I'm pretty sure you'll tell me there's loads and loads of bottles missing. All you single malt guys over here in the UK and abroad, dive into the comments, guys. I love the comments. I love reading the comments. YouTube likes it. Alan likes it. And I'm looking forward to trying and replying to every one of those comments. Again, big thanks, guys, for us hitting the 4,000 subscribers. Absolutely wonderful. And that's pretty much the end of this video. So without any further ado, as always, I'm Alan. I'm the whiskey friend. And as always, the pleasure is in the sharing. Cheers, folks.